Welcome to Life Mastery for Women. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I've been studying mind mastery and emotional management and energy work and its connection to spirituality for over 25 years. And in this podcast, I help guide you out of your daily struggles in life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Life is hard, but your daily growth doesn't have to be. Join me 3 times a week as I lead you inward on a healing, connecting, and creating journey. Let's go get that nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I'm finding you truly committed to your dream. If you're not truly committed to your dream, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. So I am enjoying a cup of tea. It is almost warm outside. It's not sunny. It's pretty overcast today. And I'm thinking about a bunch of things in my life as I take a break from the podcast. So I'm in the middle of the break, pre-recording this for April. And I think about a lot of things late at night when there's no ceiling on my day and everyone's tucked in and sleeping and the dogs are sleeping and I don't feel any guilt about anything. You know, I don't feel like I have to clean something or wash something or take anybody for a walk, right? I can just like enjoy the evening. And plus the quiet of the evening is so amazing. Now, a lot of people, when, they talk about, starting a meditation practice, they'll be like, oh my God, my mind and all these things I remember. I'm like, that is the perfect time is before I begin my meditation is to lay quietly. Everybody's sleeping. And I just listen to all the things that come up, all the questions that come up, all of the things that I forgot to do. And then I roll over and on my phone and I'll make notes if I have to, or send myself an email, or if Amy's sleeping soundly, I might even do a quiet recording so I can say, I can get it all out. But last night I discovered something. And so I went to bed about 11 o'clock and I'm laying in bed and I'm staring at the dark ceiling and I'm like contemplating life. And I think about my career and what I'm passionate about and what I'm bringing to the world and thinking about my goals and my dreams and aspirations, and I'm feeling a little bit passionless in my life right now. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I have all this freedom and we have pretty good money coming in from different programs. I love my podcast. I'm recreating some courses for you guys. And so I'm this part of me that is like this personal development and spirituality. And I love the topic and I'm passionate about that, but I'm just like, I'm just sort of getting bored. Like, what's happening? Anyway, so I pull out my phone, I start Googling a couple of different things, and I come across this term that is an interesting term. I guess it's been around a long time, and I'm surprised I haven't heard of it, but we're blind to the things until we either need it or ask for it, right? And it's called multi-potentialite, and it's having multi-potentials and areas of interest that really excite you. And you might go full force into learning about that thing, and then maybe you get bored with it. And someone could be a dentist and a violinist and a potter, and they sell curtains in a shop on a side business. I mean, so it's like that. And I felt for years, when people would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always said a teacher. But that can be such a vague expression. But back then in the 80s, a teacher meant, that you're going to teach elementary or gym class or English or math or something. And for me, that just meant I'm going to learn something that I absolutely love, and I'm going to teach others what I learn. And of course, I didn't realize that till way, way later because everyone's just pushing me to go work in a school and become an elementary teacher. And I did do that. I did work with, students and from babies to high school kids. And that was a lot of fun. And then, I got bored and I'm like, okay, moving on, And so I tell from stage when I do this career talk that I've had 37 jobs. And what that told me is there's 37 things I don't want to do and 37 people I don't want to work for. And so now what do? I study all kinds of things. I'm learning to play the guitar, which I'm terrible at, but I love having it. I have an old Indian flute that I just love. I love music. I love to create courses. I'm starting to do some printables online to help people kind of get their lives organized and organize their energy. I love creating courses. I love my podcast. I love coaching. I love my clients that I work with in my coaching program. I love being on stage. We have some meditation products. And so there's like this whole array of things. And then I ask one person, they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm a high school principal, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a dentist, or I'm a chiropractor. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, I don't know, nothing really. I mean, I just that, and I have a wife and I have some kids, and I just enjoy life. And I'm like, how simple, and how come I don't have that? And I guess part of me is I don't want simple. I want exciting. I want dynamic. I want moving pieces. And as I go along, well, here, just the other day, we got back from Kalamazoo and did our show. And Sunday night, I realized it was pretty cold in the house and our furnace was not kicking on. And so before I pick up the phone and call the plumbing, heating, cooling guys, I take the panel off the furnace and I start dabbling with it. I start figuring it out. I YouTube it. I Google it. I get all these questions answered, and I replaced a part and crossed my fingers that it was working. And unfortunately it wasn't, but it was cheap enough to have the guys come out, and it needed some big time cleaning. And of course they recommend a new furnace. And, but that's what I'll do. You know, like I figure things out. Like I love doing that. I know a lot about a lot. I should say I might know more than the average person, but I'm not an expert. Like I couldn't come to your house and repair your furnace, you know, but I know how to figure things out. And I find that to be a really interesting quality about myself. I really like it. But when it comes to fully committing to something, I sometimes get these blocks. Have you noticed that about yourself? Do you have multi-passions in your life that are that like you want to turn into a career? And I have a lot of them, a lot. Like I could literally have an entire podcast of all the things that I'm interested in. And it's so funny when I was reading this article in the middle of the night that the guy says, not everything that you're interested in can turn into a career. And that's not true. Everything can turn, especially nowadays, everything can turn into a career. But I just find it to be so funny because when I take these little side jobs, so here, for example, I'm fixing the furnace. And so I've got the thing off. I've got all my tools. I've got a little headlamp on, and I'm doing all this stuff and cleaning things and putting a new part in and whatever. And I'm thinking, ooh, I wonder if I could create a business that's for women. So teaching other women how to do like handy jobs and like handiwork, what do you call it? Furnace, coolers, or air conditioners. And then when other women, like single women out there, older women don't want to hire the guys to come to their house, they can hire my company, which is all these women workers. And I'm like, I'm going to turn this into a business. Well, not everything has to be a business, but that's how I think. And so could multi-potentialites be great entrepreneurs? Yes, of course, because we can start all these different businesses and we have all these ideas. So those of you that have the singular focus, the singular passion, and you specialize in one particular thing, that is amazing. And I'm glad that, you know, the heart surgeons, the neurosurgeons, the podiatrists, the optometrists, all you guys are experts in your field, that people like me, we create all these other creative spaces in the world. Like we fill in all the gaps, and we might go in and say, I'm going to solve a problem with this one thing. And we create the solution to that. And so I find that to be kind of fun, but I'm curious if it's you. And I find this other thing, which is the topic of today's podcast episode, is about commitment, the energy behind a commitment. There's a lot of energy behind making a decision. So those of you that are married, think about this, especially if you're happily married. Go back in time when you're just at the cusp of the dating part of the relationship, and then you just think the next stage is we should get married. And then you make the decision. And then the excitement in the decision that then leads to the next phase of things. That's like, okay, the planning, moving in together, or starting a family, or now take something else that's even more fun, planning for a vacation. You know, you just, all of a sudden the thought pops in your head and you're like, you know what we're going to do? Let's go on vacation. And in 2 months or 6 months or a year, we're going to go to this place. Let's start saving. Let's start making phone calls. Let's start planning it. And there's a lot of focus and there's a lot of energy behind it. So let me ask you about your dream now. Let me ask you about your big time desire. When you look at your desire, whatever that is, whatever the desired result is for you, when you look at that desire, Have you fully made a commitment? When I talk about my personal training days back in the early 2000s, I became a personal trainer and I worked at a gym, and then I basically probably within a year or so, I went out and I started an outdoor boot camp. And way fun. We went to different parks and did different activities, and it was pretty well thought out, and I really loved the creativity of it, and it was a lot of fun to do. And I remember making the commitment back then, and everything just fell into place. Well, it doesn't take me long to kind of start getting bored with things. And though personal development and spirituality, I always come back to, and like helping other people. And so I'm very compassionate about people who think that their life is predetermined by their environment or their parents or their circumstance. And I know that to not be true. And we have to overcome that, right? Anyway, so I remember when I did this, a client comparison. So these two clients, same age, same weight, same goals. One of them loses 80 pounds and the other one hardly, right? A little bit here and there, but not much. Well, this is what kind of tipped me off into understanding that there was more to losing weight than just going and finding some movement plan and some nutrition. That there was this underlying energy and alignment with what it is that you're trying to achieve. But now looking back on it, I would say one of them was highly committed to their goals and the other one was kind of trying it. Well, the one that was trying it didn't get the results. The other one who was committed that says, here we go, let's go. I'm going to do everything you ask me to do. I'm going to be 100% on board with what you're saying because I had a nutrition portion. Of course, killer workouts on the beach and a nutrition portion to the workout and or to this program, as well as I started to develop myself as a life coach to start giving them a little bit more in this well-rounded program. And they started getting massive results. So what was it about this one person in comparison to this other person that didn't get the results? That's where commitment comes in. And I remember her coming in often and saying things like, so there's this new fad diet that's coming out. And I'm like, new fad diet, right? And she's like, yeah, so I want to know what you think about it. And I would just stare at her. And she goes, I know you don't really like fad diets. I said, well, here's the thing about a diet. You get on the diet and then you get off the diet and your results, the original results that you're trying to get rid of, come back. You gain the weight all back, right? Things have to change. So when we talk about commitment, that is something that you can work with. So when I ask you, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What are you wanting to do? And when you look at the lack of results that you're getting, are you getting those minimal results because of your level of commitment? And I would say yes, because here's the thing. If any of you have a dog, check this out. Dogs have this innate ability to ultra focus on things, whether it's their food, a ball, a toy, digging a hole in the backyard, chasing a squirrel, whatever. They have this innate ability to like ultra focus, right? Well, when I throw the ball for Zoe, who's my little Chihuahua rat terrier mix, and she's a little 15-pound Spitfire, and when I throw the ball, she doesn't give a shit about anybody's anything. She is fired up and heading towards that ball at lightning speed. Right? And it's this ability that there it goes. I'm going to get it. Nothing's getting in my way. Right? There's a quote that I absolutely loved in my entrepreneurial world a long time ago that I remember this guy saying from stage all the time, that he says, basically, a dog on the hunt doesn't count his fleas. A dog on the hunt doesn't count his fleas. And it is like when you're in the go, you don't care about your obstacles. You know, when you are committed to loving someone and you're going to get married, you don't care about the obstacles. You just say, you know what, we'll figure it out. You know, when you're going to plan a vacation, it doesn't matter. We're going, right? When you are on the hunt, when you have made the commitment, your results are like 1,000% guaranteed. Now, here's what happens. Now, check this out. Energetically, I always have to explain what happens because I think it's so important. When we understand the why something happens, the how becomes easy, right? When we understand that this is what we're doing, I'm on the hunt, I am full on board to this commitment, then the how is, it just moves into that space, because guess what? Commitment is an energy where I'm just going to dabble. That's all up in your mental capacity. You're not going to get anything anywhere. You're not going to do anything when you dabble. You put in dabble energy, you're going to get dabble back, right? You don't have the alignment. You don't have the dog on the hunt type energy. When you make a commitment, it is all universal energy coming to your aid. It is zeroed in, ready to go. I'm going to do this. Here we go. And I don't care about any obstacle that's going to get in my way, because I am going to overcome it. And it's an amazing thing. And I love it so much, because I want to say, like, I don't dabble. Like, dabble is not a thing that I do necessarily. But what I do is, when I'm in these kind of, like these valleys, like peaks and valleys of my learning, when I'm in these valleys, I'm like looking for something. I'm looking for something to learn, because I love learning new things. And when I learn new things, I apply it to my life. I apply it to my family. I apply it to my environment. I apply it to my business. And I just go full force. And I love the excitement of it. And there's a definite cycle that I'm aware of, that when I like am getting bored, I'm like, okay, I'm about to hit something here. You know, I'm about to find something new to learn. And I dive in full force. So I don't dabble in it. I go in full force. And it was several months ago, I did a podcast on human design. And that's probably maybe the third time that has come around. And I just go in deeper and deeper and deeper every time it comes around. And it's like everything, I just suck in all this information. I'm like all night long. And I'm just so excited and so like tuned in. And it feels so amazing to me. To me, that is alignment. So where are you not committing to your dreams? Where are you not committing to the effort of finding true love, or losing weight, or making more money, or finding the joy of a career? Where are you not doing that? And if you're not, then I have one question for you. What is stopping you? What is the obstacle? And ask the universe to show you the obstacle with ease. Don't forget that part. Show me the obstacles. Show me the blocks. Show me what's getting in my way, but do it with ease. Do it with grace. Do you remember me telling you about where I was trying to figure out the business, and I was on the call with my coach, and she's like, yeah, okay, so ask the universe to show you where the block is. I'm like, okay, so show me where the block is. And then all of a sudden, I think it was the next day, we had this like holy moly situation with Brandon in the house. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And Brandon is our 17-year-old who has autism. And typically he is a pretty well, just kind of get along. He's a great kid. He's fun. He's funny. And this one day he was not fun or funny. And it was like a holy moly situation in our house. Well, the next day I coached with my coach again. And I'm like, okay, dude, this thing came up. I don't really know what's going on. It was like this holy moly in our house. It's blah, blah, blah. And so we get to the bottom of it. And it was the point of like, that I felt like my life was meaningless. Now, figure out how that came around to that. And I'll tell you, that situation that happened with Brandon has never happened since, and it won't happen again, because I needed the block to be revealed. So when I talked to my coach, she's like, oh yeah, we forgot to ask about for the universe to show it to you kind of in an easy way. And I'm like, oh, or a gentle way. That's another good way to do it, is show me my blocks gently. And I'm like, oh, great. Thanks for forgetting. And it was something to laugh about, but at the same time, it was a little bit scary. So anyways, so let me ask you, when you are heading towards your dream, ask yourself, is this what I want? Do I want this thing? And if the answer is yes, but, then figure out what the but is, because the but is a block. Okay. Yes, I want it is holy moly. You'll commit to it and off you go. But most likely, if you're not committed yet, you're probably stuck in some way that is like, yes, but it's going to be too hard. Yes, but I need a team. Yes, but I don't have enough money. Yes, but whatever the excuse is. Clear the excuse, and now you're back to yes. If the answer is no, then you better find something else to be focused on. because don't keep pushing in that direction. Can I commit to this? Act like the thing is a relationship. Can I marry this thing? Can I marry this coaching program? Yes, but. Then clear the but. Can I marry this new career choice? Yes, but. Clear the but, because the but is a block, right? If I then ask, hey, can I marry this job? This particular job. And the only reason I say marry is because when we're stepping into that kind of a commitment, can I marry this and give my entire life to this thing? If the answer is no, then move on. The answer is no, move on. It might be better than the situation that you're in right now, but if it's a no, then don't do it. Because for one, you're never going to commit to it. That's just somebody asking you to marry them and you're just like, nah, I don't really want to. Like a stranger coming up to you and be like, you want to get married? I'm like, no, I don't know you. No, I don't want to. Right? Well, don't do it. It's going to be a miserable relationship, most likely, right? So having trust in yourself enough to ask the question, having enough trust in yourself to ask the question, be like, do I want this thing? Yes or no? Do I want this thing enough to commit to it? Yes, but, clear the but. Or do I want this thing? No, then move on. It seems really easy, doesn't it? But it's going to uncover a lot. And make sure that you ask, if there is a but and you want to clear it, is, hey, universe, show me my blocks in a gentle way. Show me my blocks in a gentle way. And then within the next couple of days, something is going to show, it's going to reveal itself to you. And I love working with the universe in that way because the universe will reveal things to you. We just have to ask. You just have to ask for it. You're not going to get it if you don't ask. You're not going to get it if you don't ask. You're not going to get it. If I say, hey, you know what? I want to lose weight. I'm 100% committed. I want to do this thing, and if you're committed, you're getting it. Now it's just a matter of time. Now it's just a matter of, but you're going to be in alignment every time. And every time you go and you're like, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go work out. You say, you know what? Why do I want to do it? Am I committed to this thing? Because if you lose commitment, you're going to lose focus. And if you lose focus, you're just going to get dabbling results. And we don't want dabbling results. We want true, cool results as fast as possible. That's my gig anyway. So if you have trouble with committing, please check out my Lady Rising group on Facebook. I ask your questions, be a part of our group, be a part of our community. Say you came in through the podcast, ask your question. Hey, you know what? I listened to podcast. I think this was 341. And I listened to podcast 340, not 41. This is, I think this is going to be 342. I lied. I thought it was going to be three. I was a couple episodes ago. 343. And I need some help with this. And we're happy to help, to serve, to build our community, and to know, you know what? We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep learning the things and applying those things in our lives. And we're just going to keep going. And we're going to keep going inward and asking ourselves the question. And we're going to keep aligning with the universe to say, hey, you know what? Help me out here. Show me my blocks so I can keep moving. I hope to see you in one of the groups. Otherwise, keep going and let's make a commitment. If you enjoyed this show, please consider making a small donation. This helps me to continue creating powerful episodes for you each week, but also you become a bigger part of changing the world by changing yourself one episode at a time. By investing in my show, you are investing in yourself, your life, and your planet. And by elevating yourself, you are elevating others around you. And I thank you.